Welcome to this episode of YouTube where I've entitled it Winter Mode. And what that means is that we have behavioral differences, we have maintenance differences, everything changes once winter hits. And so this is a video footage from the surveillance camera of Luna and Grizzer. They are now fully implemented. We had to do some transitional work with Luna and her food possession issues. We are happy to report that she's doing quite well. She's here doing a toss of a deer leg. She is enjoying the socialization of Grizzer, and I know there's been talk about whether some people would like to see her back in the pack, but we just want to reiterate that Luna needs a little time. She has some tendencies for dominance and aggression that make it very dangerous for her to be in a pack structure, from the standpoint that redirection could happen if she gets herself into a aggressive threat display, especially around the pups. Aiden and Bolts and even now Denali are very bonded to those pups, and so if there was any aggression at all around pups, that would be a risky thing. And we do know that Luna has some very, very strong predatory and food possession behavior. So like I said, we know she's feeling better. First of all, her tail wag has been tremendous. For the longest time, she had issues with that base of that tail and how that could function. So you could see her doing quite well there. And one of the reasons is because she is in a different management scenario. We're able to give her a little bit more management, and this is one of the staff demonstrating some of the body work that we do for Luna. You can see she is a willing participant. She presents herself for it. And what we've been trying to work on is with her and Grizzer is to get them in close proximity. Luna is extremely possessive about wolf care staff, so we have to make sure that she's relaxed, and that relaxation gives Grizzer confidence that the wolf care staff will intervene if there are issues. And so we've been working on that. She has her moments where if we don't have staff aware or alert to the situation, she can quickly go into a threat display for Grizzer. And so we're trying to help her become a little bit more stable, and that stability will help her if she does eventually rejoin the pack. But at this point, she is a work in progress, both physically, behaviorally, as well as, again, with some of the situations related to food, related to dominance. And like I said, Grizzer looks to the wolf care staff to kind of lead the interactions to create some stability for her, and that's been very positive. We've gotten a lot more response of them wanting to interact. I hope to get some footage of them interacting. They've been on the east side doing some play bows and chasing, and actually there was a day that Grizzer was laying on top of the east side den and Luna was laying inside the east side den. So we hope to get some of that footage. The east side den suffered a little bit of a power surge when we had the wet snow, the 16 inches of wet snow that we had a couple of weeks ago. So we are without a surveillance camera over there. So as soon as we get that back up and running, we'll hopefully get some footage. So I managed to, the other day, allow Grizzer to eat an entire chicken while Luna was getting body work. And that was a significant stride for us. We had not had that kind of luck prior. So like I said, there's nothing wrong with Luna being possessive, but when she's so obsessed about food that she just becomes a little bit emotionally unstable, that makes it a problem from the standpoint of the wolves seeing that instability as a weakness and then she being a target. We never want that to happen when she's living in a pack structure, because when one wolf is unstable, the rest of the pack will pick up on that, and having a mobbing of Luna would be a very dangerous situation. So like I said, we continue to work with her. It is a daily process for us. What she is willing to allow is dependent upon what she's willing to, how relaxed she is coming into the situation, but also where are her food possessions. We have to be equally as diligent as Grizzer to avoid getting into a food possession that might cause her to be a little bit defensive for us as well. So like I said, the goal for us is maintaining Luna and Grizzer in a positive association for both of them. And the other thing that we want to keep in mind is that Aiden and Denali are not too long away from retirement. Typically, we retire out our wolves around 10 years of age. Again, that relates to testing and dominance from the lower ranking wolves, and we do know that Axel and Grayson and Bolts are all very capable of testing, although there's not been any testing this winter. As a matter of fact, the pack's been very calm, and it's not just calm. And I think somebody had asked about whether they're lazy, and it's not that they're lazy. They are very active. They are mobile. They're chasing. They're posturing, but it's not with any dominance. It's not with any growling. There's not the intensity that we would see in previous scenarios with the pack. So we're doing quite well. And again, Aiden is the real ticket that holds this pack together. He's extremely calm. He's very, very, quick to respond to things when they get a little bit too excited. And the pups do have their bouts of wrestling that occur just about every day. This is Axel on the left, Grayson on the right. And we were happy to receive some Amazon wish list donations. Thank you, Dana, for the brushes. We ordered some specific, or put on our wish list some specific brushes to help get some of the burrs out, and it worked today quite well. Not only did we get some burrs out of the pups, but they liked the brushing. It took a while. Axel wanted to eat the brush and the grooming hand, but we were able to manage. One thing that winter does bring is a lot of wind, a lot of blowing snow. Wind is not a big favorite thing for Grayson. Also, on the roof, we are getting a lot of icicles, so we're having to break off icicles, and some of those crashing icicles are a little intimidating for Grayson especially, but even for Axel, although Axel later discovered that you could chew on them, and so that was something that he started to do, was chew on the ice cubes, or the icicles, not ice cubes, chew on the icicles that came off the roof line. So those are maintenance things that are daily. We obviously don't want those icicles to fall and hit one of the wolves, so we want to do it in a controlled environment during wolf care. And right now it's taking us at least 2 hours of wolf care to try to meet all the needs of all the wolves. And so that means getting enough time to feed the wolves, getting Grayson and Axel especially still some supplemental food, making sure that scat is collected, making sure waters remain open, making sure that cover hay is raked and available for them. Normally, when wolves live in the wild, they don't need cover hay because they have all kinds of insulating snow, but in a captive environment where they compact the front of the exhibit so quickly, we want to make sure that they have warm beds to lie in. The only thing that we're noticing yet is, like I said, the nature of the changes of winter have gotten a little bit of stimulus to especially Grayson, making sure that he has his resources that he needs to be able to continue putting on body weight. Axel's about 84 pounds. Grayson's lagging a bit behind at about 72 pounds. So we're making sure that they're parasite free, trying to get as many extra meals as we can. So you may notice on Wednesdays that we give beaver as well. So we do see Grayson, and this is actually being chased. Axel's being chased by Denali, and then Grayson comes up from behind. So we see some changes within that rank hierarchy, meaning that sometimes it's Axel on the bottom, sometimes it's Grayson on the bottom, but we are seeing, again, a very compact that has Aiden to thank for keeping things kind of under control. So right now that's Denali chasing Axel, and Bolt's coming around, and here comes Grayson with a deer hide. So like we said, they are very, very active, but you rarely hear any growling or any hackles or any kind of antagonistic behavior from these group of socialized members. They all seem fairly copacetic, and they are really not showing any indication of any testing of Aiden. At this point, Aiden's having a pretty strong bond with everybody and a pretty strong command of the pack. So that is where we're at. We have always the best interest of every wolf in mind when we try to make management decisions. And this time we see the pups just thriving in this environment of social behavior and not the antagonistic response that we had experienced in the past. So that's about it, and we will continue to keep you posted, and hopefully if you get a chance to join us on our webinar on December 15th to be able to explain a little bit more about the dynamics of Luna and Grizzer, as well as the exhibit pack as winter approaches. Thanks for watching.